Footsteps echo through our tiny hut that my family calls home. The alarm clock screams until I get out of bed. It rings in our ears as we know an officer will be coming to deport us to Haiti today. In no time, they were here. Put your hands in the air and walk slowly out the door. The officers now harshly order us. My mom now shaking with a single tear sliding down her cheek. Uno momento, uno momento. This cannot and will not be my life.
We started gathering our luggage. My mother found me yelling at us to move faster. I rushed into my room, grabbed my bag, and walked out the door. The footsteps could easily be mistaken for the gangs we hear running down the street at night. As every other Dominicano, my family does not leave their house after dark, with no exceptions. The soldiers brought us to the deportation center. Sweaty palms and white knuckles lasted for hours at the detention center on the Haitian border. The process was inhumane. There was barely enough food for one good meal a day. For many weeks nothing had gone right, nor did the recovery process come any easier to us. Even though our homeland of the Dominican Republic had horrifying crime rates, a corrupt government, and widespread poverty. After long, hard years of waiting, a boat came to bring us to America. We were glad that a promising new job could be in our future. We were also worried that our new life could be even worse than ours is currently. As always, could is not near definite. A job will not appear at our doorstep one day. A lot of resilience is in our futures.
The boat had arrived. It was cramped, unable to move, trying to board the boat. With little room to breathe, my mother and I were shoved into the boat, filled to the brim with hundreds of people like me. I was scared out of my mind and I couldn't think straight. I just kept telling myself it was going to be okay. I thought it always was. I was no more than a captive held in a prison that would arrive in America before long. Days went by, hours felt like minutes, minutes felt like hours, and hours felt like days. With little food and water and nowhere to go, I felt my health plummeting. Each day I would just pray and pray, hoping things would get better and people cheer up along the way. My spirit was on a roller coaster of emotions. Just as things were thought to be better, they got worse. The blue skies were infected by dark clouds. I looked at the storm, which would later be called Hurricane Hermine. Day after day, we would just rock back and forth. We were lucky to survive as long as we did. I wish I could say the same for the others aboard the ship. Many innocent people died due to the harsh waves caused by the storm. All I could do was pray, just keep praying and praying. We never thought the day would come. As the harsh clouds cleared, we all stared up at the magnificent skyscrapers on the horizon. By the time the ship docked, my mother and I were shaking in fear. Soon, we were informed that we would be put in a program and will get a job. After all this time, all the perils we had gone through to make it here, it had finally worked out for us.
I reached for the telephone for my daily talk with my father. This was easy because I got to speak in my own language. Outside of our house, I felt excluded from the world and had no idea what was going on around me. The trip had been a struggle in many ways for us, but as always, my incredible family had made it work. Currently settled in New York City, employment for my family has been hard. We had to look for the right job that would pay enough for my family and I to survive. Once we found a job that would hire people like us who know little English, we had to work many jobs. My mom had searched for a job for the first few months in our new home, but had to learn and emerge with the English language first. They worked very hard to learn the language, almost as hard as they worked, and in little time, they were fluent enough to have a secure job to support all of us. Not only was it their success, but as much as ours to just reflect on every challenge we had faced. Little things such as classes at school, finding a new home that was suitable for our needs. The everyday casual life in the U.S. was not in any way easy for us. The late nights and no sleep had paid off. We had managed the impossible. My life would be complete if my dear father will soon join us here in our new homeland.
Upon arrival here, we felt like aliens, receiving stares from him and her, but also being, I have to say, pretty run down and frankly helpless and pathetic. However, many people fail to realize we are all created equal, and with much hard work we could be and will be as successful as them one day. Not being accepted by regular citizens and having them accept me as being worthless to them pushes me to go that extra mile every single time. Even with all odds against me, we are capable of so much more than you could possibly dream of, if we only cooperate and learn to take advantages of others' differences instead of letting our various characteristics push us farther and farther apart. This is why I encourage you to try to not only respect everyone, but to work with them and allow them to work with you to accomplish the impossible.